Right, so this is the deck for Theme Chronicle. I think this is the best deck for the format. So I've been testing quite a bit with it this morning, and this deck is really familiar for you 2019 players who played a lot of that format. This is the deck that never really died that year. It is indeed Orcust. So in the format, there is 2 Harp Horror. Obviously, you're only allowed to play decks that are available in solo modes, and just so happens the whole Mech Knight saga, Crusadia saga involves Orcust, and Orcust is a really strong deck in general, has a really good grind potential, really good at recurring own resources, has a lot of disruption on your opponent's turn, and just a really good engine in general. So yeah, this is the deck I've been testing with this morning. Quite a decent win rate with it so far, so I'll get into the actual deck and how it works. So for the Orcust engine, I'm playing 2 Bombard. So this wasn't standard in like 2019, however I wanted another card that could play through an additional hand trap. So like Ash is quite popular in the format, so Ash and Harp Horror kind of sucks. So having this as a normal summon, if you have another Orcust in hand, lets you play around Ash because it gives you another extender to make a Galatea. So normally Harp Horror puts you into your Nightmare, or if you already have it, it puts you into your Symbol Skeleton. But just having a extra Bombard in the graveyard allows you to play through those additional hand drops if you get hit with a Crow or Ash. We just play the 2 Symbol Skeleton. I don't think he really plays this card at 3, but it's good to have it 2 for the grind game, especially with Harp Horror being in the format. This card's at 2. I'd play 3 if I could. However, I think this card's absolutely fine. Plus we have Gearsus. So this card came out in an Eternity Code, and it was basically another strong additional normal summon, like an Armageddon Knight for the deck, but it gives you a token as well as your opponent. There are ways to mitigate the token. We don't play it, but there's a card called Lib, which is a link to, that lets you search a World Legacy spell card from your deck. We don't play that engine. I'd rather play more danger cards in the deck, because they're really good going second as well. But we'll get on to that in a minute. So yeah, we play Gearsu, and of course the Greffer. Greffer's really strong, especially because we play Dangers. Having the ability to special summon it by discarding a Nessie or a Nightmare is like super strong because it's another extender as well. And yeah, because we play the Dangers, I want to play Dark Greffer. Normally you would play this, Armageddon Knight and Rota, especially in a 2019 sort of deck. However, I wanted to cut those cards for more utility. So yeah, this is sort of the Orcust engine. And then for the Dangers, we play 2 Jackalope because it's semi-limited, play 3 Snake and 3 Nessie. So these ones are like the strongest. I was messing with Super Poly, but I just realised about 5 minutes ago that Starving Venom Fusion Dragon is banned. So we're not going to play Super Poly, unfortunately. Also forgot to mention we play the World one as well. So this card is a really standard card for the engine. Basically lets you special summon a banished Orcust card, or World Legacy I believe. Don't just Orcust, but yeah, really good extender for the deck, really good natural engine piece to get your engine flowing in those grind games. For non-engine monsters, we just play the 3 Maxi and 3 Ash. Really generic. Ash stops Maxi. Maxi draws you into your non-engine, and Dangers go in second. So yeah, we want to play these cards. For the spell cards, we just play 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. With it being kind of like a roguey sort of format, I just wanted to play 1 back row blowout, especially in the main deck as well, because we can draw so many cards off the Dangers and Allure of Darkness, which I'll get onto in a minute. It's good to have just a blowout back row sort of hate card. And then play Allure, of course, because all the deck is dark apart from Ash. Yeah, so +2 or +1. Draw 2 cards, pretty good. Also, the balance is actually quite relevant because we can recur it back, just like I mentioned off the World's Wand. There's loads of ways to just draw loads of cards in this deck, with this being one of the main ones, which is Orchestrate Return. This card is nuts, absolutely insane. It does everything you want it to do in an Orcust deck. Sends an Orcust card or a World Legacy card from your hand or field to the graveyard to draw 2 cards. So this plus Harp or plus Nightmare is a plus a lot. It's like +3, maybe +4. It's a lot because you get into Galatea, and Galatea is a plus as well. So yeah, loads of advantage off these cards. Good draw power. And Babel, probably the most important card in the deck. This card basically turns all your Orcust into quick effects. So there's loads of cool, cute interactions you can do with this deck. I'll get onto the main sort of goal in the deck, the main strategy, the main end board you want to end on. However, this card has loads of cool applications, basically turns all your Orcust into quick effects. That includes Longesu, which is a quick effect send by targeting 2 your banished machine monsters, shuffle them to the deck. Then you can send one link monster to the grave, or linked monster to the grave. So cards that point to him, he becomes really strong. So it's actually cost to shuffle in, so you can recycle a lot of resources. But having this card, turning cards like that into a quick effect, is really, really strong. Also, to wrap up the rest of the deck, we played 2 Call by the Grave, 3 Infinite Impermanence for another hand trap to pair with our Ash and Maxi, and then the Orchestrated Crescendo. So this card is an engine piece as well as a Omni Negate that banishes. So really, really good trap card for the deck. And then, yeah, for the extra deck, 2 Dingirsu. You could probably get away with 1 if you don't want to spend too many gems on the deck. But I like 2 because it is a really grindy sort of strategy. I think 2 comes up like 1 in every 5 games, perhaps. So I'd rather take that chance and win a game by having 2 in the extra deck. Zeus, because we didn't have this card back in the day, but now we do. And you can do some cool stuff by attacking, doing Dingirsu, send a threat. Or even reattach to make like a 4 material Zeus who's like quite strong, because obviously Dingirsu has 2 effects: to send a monster your opponent controls, or a card your opponent controls, sorry, or attach a banished machine. So you can actually stack up materials for a Zeus line, which comes up a lot, to be fair. Almirage, this is normally to normal summon the Bombard. Honestly, I haven't really used it that much. It could be cuttable for like another utility like Link 3 perhaps, because IP is one of the main win conditions, so we play a lot of Link monsters to sort of facilitate here. But Almirage is definitely cuttable. Cerberus and Phoenix, these are 2 really important cards for going second to break boards. 2 Galatea, sort of the playmaker for the deck, sets you up into your Babel, sets you up into Crescendo if you already have it, or if you want some more draw power, Return is a really good option as well. Barricade Board Blocker, so this card saw a lot of play in 2019, especially sort of towards the end of the season, where basically what it does is, in a nutshell, in a vacuum, discard a card for cost. That's pretty much all it does. It has an additional effect to add continuous or field spells to the grave during the end phase, but that's irrelevant. You can do cool stuff with Babel, like add it back. Babel actually recurs itself back naturally, so during the main phase, accept the turn it's sent there, send a card from your hand to graveyard to add it back to hand. So yeah, cool stuff you can do with this card, as well as Barricade Board Blocker. Unicorn, one of the main targets to summon off IP during our opponent's turn. Longesu, a really good boss monster for the deck. Naturally, it's just an effect monster plus an Orcust monster. And like I said earlier, the interaction with Babel's like really strong. So we're never cutting this card. And we play Topologic Bomber, as well as the Zeroboros. So these cards are both sort of board wipes. Zeroboros is more for back row sort of decks, and also this deck card provides you an out to so-called towers, unaffected boss monsters. I did a cool play earlier where my opponent sat on the full armor master, the Blackwing synchro that's unaffected by monsters. I was able to, so he took my bomber because he put a counter on it during because of the monster's effects. You can put counters on it. He then took it. I then made a bar load, used the effect to increase this card's attack, took my bomber to crash into the synchro, and bomber does burning damage. So yeah, that wrapped up the game, which is a pretty cool play. But yeah, Barlow Dragon, really cool card, able to sort of take threats on the field, non-targeting, sort of take control. And yeah, you can take control of boss monsters which stick around for the turn on your field. So yeah, that is the deck. So quite similar to what we played in sort of early 2019, all the way throughout that season. I hope you guys learned something. If you did, let me know what you learned, and check out my other socials. I'm pumping out quite a bit of content in the moment. So like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.